The Mazda 3 hatchback has earned a reputation as the driver's compact. Sharp handling, a premium cabin, and sky-active efficiency that punches above its price. Some model years come with clutch failures, melted dashboards, and brake problems that can cost you thousands long after the warranty expires. In this video, we'll break down the best and worst Mazda 3 hatchback years. According to multiple sources, including Consumer Reports, J.D. Power, and CarComplaints owner data, here's what the numbers actually say. Let's get started.
The worst years to avoid. Coming in at number 5 on the years to avoid, the 2004 Mazda 3. This was the very first model year of the nameplate, replacing the Mazda Protégé, and like most first-year vehicles, it carried the growing pains of a brand-new design. Owners reported transmission problems, gears that struggled to shift cleanly, and in some cases, outright failure. The engine, while eager, saw a handful of reports of catastrophic failure, but the bigger long-term issue is rust. These cars are now over 20 years old, and the first-generation Mazda 3 is particularly prone to corrosion around the wheel arches and rear subframe, a job that frequently costs over $1,000 to address properly. The 2005 model, with noticeably fewer complaints, costs barely more on the used market. There's little reason to take the risk on the launch year. At number 4, the 2013 Mazda 3. By this point, Mazda had improved the transmission and clutch compared to the earlier second-generation cars, but it still wasn't a clean bill of health. Owners reported persistent brake issues, accelerator concerns, and a frustrating new problem, headlights that would flicker out when the brakes were applied. That's particularly dangerous because it compromises visibility at the exact moment you're slowing down. Interior accessory failures rounded out the complaints. The 2013 is the most reliable of the second generation, but most reliable of a bad generation is not a strong endorsement. If you're set on a Gen 2, this is the least risky, but we'd still point you elsewhere. Number 3, the 2014 Mazda 3. This is the first year of the third generation. This is a recurring theme with Mazda. The first model year of every new generation tends to carry the heaviest build quality issues, and 2014 is no exception. The headline problem is the brakes. Owners reported brake pads and rotors wearing down prematurely, and in a number of cases, the brakes locking up entirely. On top of that, the infotainment system drew frequent complaints, freezing, rebooting, and outright failure. The 2014 introduced Mazda's excellent Skyactiv G engine and that sharp new chassis, so it drives beautifully, but the first-year quality control hadn't caught up yet. Wait one model year, and most of these problems disappear. At number 2, the 2011 and 2012 Mazda 3. These cars carried forward every problem that plagued the second generation without fixing them. The transmission and clutch complaints continued. Owners of manual-equipped cars reported clutch failures, in many cases before the car even reached significant mileage. Mazda had clearly not resolved the underlying issue. If you're cross-shopping a 2011 Mazda 3 right now because the price looks tempting, understand what you're buying into: a known, unresolved clutch and transmission risk. The low sticker price reflects the long-term repair exposure. And the number 1 Mazda 3 hatchback year to avoid, the 2010 model. This is the first year of the second generation, and according to CarComplaints data, it is statistically the worst Mazda 3 ever made. Complaints more than doubled compared to the previous generation in this single model year alone. The defining failure is the clutch. Many owners reported it giving out and leaving the car undrivable, with the average failure occurring at just 40,000 miles. That's a major repair on a car that should still feel new. But it gets worse. Owners also reported melted dashboards, the dash material literally deforming and turning glossy in the heat, along with seat brackets cracking and breaking. Between the drivetrain failures and the interior defects, the 2010 Mazda 3 is the one model year we'd tell any buyer to walk away from, regardless of price or mileage.
Best years to buy. Coming in at number 3 among the best years, the 2009 Mazda 3. By the end of the first generation, Mazda had ironed out the launch year issues. Engine and transmission complaints dropped to a minimum, and the rest of the car proved durable. With its eager 4-cylinder, sharp handling, and a price that's now extremely affordable on the used market, a well-maintained 2009 is a genuine budget pick, provided you inspect it carefully for rust, the one weakness of this generation. For a shopper on a tight budget, this is the smart end of Gen 1. At number 2, the 2015 and 2016 Mazda 3. These are the years where the third generation came into its own. The 2014 first-year brake and infotainment bugs were largely resolved, and what's left is one of the best compact hatchbacks of its era. You get the high-compression SkyActiv 2.5-liter engine for strong fuel economy, a genuinely premium interior, and that signature Mazda driving feel. The most common 2015 complaint was simply the infotainment screen occasionally needing a reset, a minor inconvenience, not a safety hazard or an expensive repair. The 2016 saw a small number of brake wear complaints, but far fewer than 2014. For value, reliability, and driving enjoyment, the 2015 to 2016 hatchback is a standout. And the number 1 Mazda 3 hatchback to buy, the 2017 and 2018 models. By the final years of the third generation, Mazda had refined this car into one of the most reliable and rewarding compacts on the market. The infotainment quirks were addressed, the brakes were sorted, and the build quality was at its peak. With high reliability ratings, a comfortable and refined interior, and that engaging SkyActiv chassis, the 2017 to 2018 Mazda 3 hatchback remains a popular choice for those looking for a dependable, premium-feeling compact that's genuinely fun to drive. For those shopping used, these are widely considered the most reliable Mazda 3 hatchback years of the generation, and they hit the sweet spot between modern features and proven real-world durability. So, here's the bottom line. Whichever you choose, always run a vehicle history report and get a pre-purchase inspection. It's the cheapest insurance you'll ever buy. Which Mazda 3 do you own and how is it held up? Your experience might help another buyer make the right choice.